So here's the first one. Maori did not cede sovereignty in Article 1. Chris Luxon believes that. Rawiri believes that. But that's not in the treaty. So we're just going to show where Luxon and the biggest activists in New Zealand agree and how off they are with respect to either the truth or the right thing to do or the treaty. Secondly, Maori only gave permission to the British to govern settlers, not Maori. Chris believes that. Rawiri believes that. That's not in the treaty. Maori retain sovereignty in Article 2. Chris believes that. Rawiri believes that. It's not in the treaty. Maori have the right to own New Zealand's resources. Luxon believes that. Rawiri believes that. It's not in the treaty. Maori have the right to self-determination, that is, to establish a parallel government. Chris hasn't said either way whether he believes in that or not believes in that, so we need to just watch for that either way. He won't say anything, probably because it'll be massively controversial for him if he says either way, if he makes a decision either way. Rawiri definitely believes that. Is that mandated in the treaty? No, it's not. Maori are indigenous. Chris believes that. Rawiri believes that. That's definitely not how the facts align. Moriori were here before Maori, and there were people here before the Moriori. There's facts to that effect. The government should pay the legal fees of Maori when they sue the government for any issue that they struggle with or they want to change. They go through the Waitangi Tribunal, and who pays all the fees? The government pays all the fees, whereas I believe Maori should pay their own fees. However, Chris Luxon believes that's fine to have the government pay all the fees, because what paying the fees does is it encourages Maori to sue the government. It encourages Maori to take the government to court. Now, how stupid is that? Why would you encourage Maori to sue the government when in suing the government you're enabling them to take over the country? How does that make sense? It's the most ridiculous piece of legislation, and it should be repealed immediately. Government should not be paying Maori legal fees to sue the government. That is ridiculous. Rawiri, does he believe they should pay the fees? Yes. Is that mandated in the treaty? No. Colonization has traumatized Maori. Chris Luxon believes that. Rawiri believes that. There's no fact or evidence to back that claim whatsoever. It is just a myth. It is spin. Is it right that Maori should receive special funding and assistance over and above the other 160 cultures in New Zealand? Chris Luxon believes that. Rawiri believes that. There's nothing in the treaty to support that claim. Poor Maori performance in every area of society is no fault of their own. Chris Luxon believes that. Rawiri believes that. And there's no factual evidence to support that. In fact, the opposite evidence is in evidence everywhere, and that is that Maori are not taking responsibility for themselves, and their poor performance has actually just got nothing to do with anybody else but themselves. The best way to deal with Maori demands is appeasement. Chris Luxon believes that. Waititi believes that. That's not the right thing to do, because you're feeding a monster that's insatiable, and that's what's created the situation we have now politically in New Zealand.